I'll just invite everyone to take a deep breath in through your nose and then anchor the breath into your abdomen and breathe out. A lot of people talk about sound healing. So over the years, I saw many people selling thousands on a healing bowl or a sound bowl or whatever music they are doing. Yes, they sounds really good. But do you know that the sound healing, the ancient way and the most effective way is actually coming from our own sound? Science has already proven that. For baby, we first hear our mom talking. We hear the heartbeat. And so if you have a very chaotic day and it really come back to your sound, we don't need to spend thousands of dollars buying something crazy just because people say that it will raise your vibration. Really come back to the basic because basic is all we need. Just like CPR, we tell people that, oh, use AED, oh, do IV, do this and do that. But then when you have nothing, what do we tell people? Come back to basic. Come back to your chest compression. And that is exactly how it applies to our own healing. So the one easy sound when you take a deep breath in, if you have a chaotic day, imagine today is just so chaotic. Your energy is spending on this person, that person, the job here, my boss, my kids, my grandkids, everything. Or running like crazy for errands. Take a deep breath, anchor the breath into your abdomen. And then as you were breathing out, all you have to do is just and that really is all your body needs. Because the body here, it means that, oh, I can relax now. So seriously, very basic. Use the ancient word, and the magic is it doesn't cost money and it works. So just just to relax your body. When you do that, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system to say that it is okay to relax now. And many times, as we were talking about binge watching, I do that too. And I invite everyone, when you do binge watching, really pay attention on yourself and ask the question, ask a deeper question. Why am I doing it? Why am I doing it? Is it a way to help me relax? Or is it a way to help me escape? So for my grandma, she loved watching TV. Ever since I ever remember, she watched TV. She binge watching TV or she go gambling. She said that is her hobbies. So for years, I don't understand. I think, oh, that's just my grandma. She's a housewife. That's all she does because she has nothing better to do. But until I learned what I'm learning now and listening to what my grandma told me about her past, I realized her gambling and her binge watching on TV is her only way to escape from her reality. And she always say, if I have a chance again, I will never want to get married again. I will become a monk. That's what my grandma said. I thought, oh, Probably her relationship was like her relationship with my grandpa is not good. That's why she always say that. Because every woman say that, right? But then I realized that yeah, her binge watching is to escape from her reality. And what is she trying to escape from? I don't know. I never get so in depth with her. But I want to bring this up to you to ask yourself a better question. Why am I binge watching? Why am I doing what I am doing? Because a lot of people can be addicted to something. Some people are addicted to workout. For me, I know a lot of police officers are addicted to workout. They say workout is good, workout is good. But then they forgot why they want to work out is because they are addicted to the adrenaline and they're addicted to the cortisol. So they always like drama. And so, whatever you're doing, just ask a deeper question. Why am I doing what I am doing? Am I trying to avoid something so that I don't have to face it? Or am I really enjoying it? And so I'm using it to relax. Because we know that binge watching is not very healthy. Once a while, it is good. But if a person start to do that every single day, ask yourself a deeper question. Because when we go deep into the roots, that is a healing. Healing is painful. Healing is not fun. It is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. I'm telling you, that is the truth. Because who like to dig into the trauma? Who like to dig into the hurt that you had in the past? No one wants that. But the moment you say that, screw this, I don't want a repeated pattern. I don't want to keep meeting the same problem again and again in my life. For example, the same problem will show up as your soulmate. You met another guy again. It's just a different face, but the same shit. You have the same money problem again. You could be suddenly have a 5,000. But then at the end of the year, where has the 5,000 gone to? It is leaking. Why is your container leaking? Because your subconscious will always spend the money for you. Because your subconscious believe that you do not worth to have that much money. So I will spend it for you. Or it will show up in your career. Or it will show up with your boss or your coworker. Oh my God, I have another coworker is like this again. Oh my God, that boss remind me of my ex-boss. Now I tell you, a lot of people, you know what? I'm so frustrated. That's why I say it because this week I have been coaching many clients. And many clients come to me because they say, and it's always somewhat like this. I have hired many coaches, but then I still realize that I need to heal my inner child. So I guess I will give you a try. I'm like, what have you tried? What have you tried? And people will say, I do the sound healing, I do the meditation retreat, I did the water healing, and all this is great. But then when I say that, what else do you do on top of that? They say, oh, I just go for the 1 or 2 session, and then for a few months, and then I realized that it's not working. So I stopped going. But then they always say when I go for that healing, it feels good. But then it only lasts for a week or two, and then I have to go back again. And I always tell my client that, you know what, inner child healing is not something fun. It's not something that you say, oh my God, this is so much fun. I'm excited. I love it. No, you actually have to prepare your body for it because it is a process where you'll be crying, where you will be looking at your little child that when you were 5 years old, 18 years old, when you get hurt. And then the, the process is you go back and reframe the mindset. It is a lot of work. And many times we spend an hour and a half doing the work. I am not the one who is talking. I will just guiding you and you have to do the work. And now I know if people are not willing to go deep, there's nothing much I can do. Because you can only heal as deep as you want. Just like snorkeling. Do you want to snorkeling or do you want to go scuba diving? Do you want to go deep ocean or do you just want to get a little bit off the shoreline? So the work is really on how deep do you want to go? The deeper we go, you will realize that you shift your energy. You shift your energy. It doesn't shift just 180 degrees. It shifts slowly. And then in 3 months, in 6 months, when you look back, it's like, wow, I change. Every day you will not realize you change, but you have to be patient. In 6 months, you will look back and say, wow, I change. I change. How do you know you change? It's because your energy change. And even the word that you say change. And to be honest, if you want to know how is your energy level, look around who hang out with you. If the people who hang out with you are happy, it means that you are happy because happy people likes to hang out with happy people. If the people who you hang out is lonely, depressed, then you know what kind of person you are and you know that it's time for you to change. Happy people really want to run away from sad people. No one wants to hang out with sad people. No one. So a lot of people always say inner child healing, inner child healing. It's become a trend, just like yoga. It is not a trend. It is for your self-actualization, your hierarchy of needs. When we feel the pain, when we feel like we suffer so much, it means that it's time for me to change the way I'm thinking, the way I'm feeling. And then we use different modalities to help us change. And one of the modality that we can do every day for 10 minutes or even 5 minutes is tapping or Qigong. Just doing that, what we're doing is really to move the stuck energy. Let's practice an exercise. Like we know that energy only have two types. There's only two type of energy. One is expansive energy, when you feel expanse, and the other is you feel contract. Okay, you want to try? Now, I want you to open up yourself, open up, open your heart, open up your arm and say, I am sad, I am sad. Do you feel sad? No, when you expand, when you open up, you cannot feel sad. But now I want you to crawl all the way down, squeeze your body, put your arm on your leg and squeeze your body and say, I am happy, I am happy. Do you feel happy when you're contracting? No, you don't. So basically in the universe, there's only two, expansive energy and contract energy. And Qigong, in a way, is to help you to move the stuck energy and learn to expand your heart. Because all the survival energy, when people tell me that they were traumatized when they were young, they were sad, they got hurt, they got betrayed, all this unhappy energy, contractive energy is stuck in the abdominal area. So we learn to move the energy to move up. And many times, our energy just gets stuck for years, and it takes time to move them. And we need to learn how to move this contractive energy. Life is simple. And people just can't complicate that. Life is simple. It's really simple. And so really start asking, what is my intentions to do what I'm doing? If it's for me to relax or is it for me to escape? And even pay attention to what you say on a daily basis. Whatever you say, Is it a happy energy or is it a negative energy? If it's a negative energy, remember that universe will always respond to whatever energy you send out. If you send out a negative energy, and that is how the universe will respond back to you. So watch your words, because your words have energy. They do have energy. And a lot of people say, yeah, I keep telling my mind, I want to be happy. Everything is going to be good. But my body feels sad. How can I do that? Well, you know what? There is a time for you to grieve. But like I always say, don't stay in the valley for too long because your body is already programmed to feel sad. And eventually you have to train your body like you train your pet, like you train your puppy. Okay, no, get up. I'll let you cry for 5 minutes, but now let's get up. Let's go. Let's do things. Let's do things. Your life will not change until your energy change. You can sit on your chair all day and manifest, manifest, manifest. But until you take action, nothing is coming to you. It all begins with action. And if you get rejected, so what? Try again, try again, try again. All you need is just one person to say yes. Just one person to say yes. And that is all I really want to say about the energy today. Move our body. Just move the body. When you are sad, if today you feel like I'm sad, then you know what? If you don't want to feel sad, go to the mall. Go to the busiest mall where there's a lot of people, where people were shopping, going around. And in that place, you get the most energy and the most positive energy because people are happy. They go to the mall, they shop, they were happy. So go to the mall and you will be impacted by that energy and you will feel good. So if you're sad, go to a place that has a lot of human, that is a happy place. Then you go there, you will be impacted by the energy. Inner child healing takes time. It takes patience and it takes courage. And it's exhausting. I have many clients who is so addicted to inner child healing. They want to stay with me for 3 hours. And then at the end, they say, oh, I feel so good. I have a lot of energy. And I look at her, I'm like, but I'm exhausted now. Right? So this is how good it feels. Once you release the energy, once you release the stuck energy, the energy will move up your body. And then you feel happy. You feel happy and you feel like I have so much energy. And now when you have so much energy, use the energy in some place that can help you to move forward in your life. That's why I always tell people, you hire me to do inner child healing. You hire me to do Qigong. Okay, now you tell me that you feel so good. You have a lot of energy. You cannot sleep. Okay, good. Now let's come to look at your goal. Where do you want to be in 1 year? Where do you want to be in 1 year? And many people say, I never thought about it. I'm like, well, then start thinking about it. Because if you don't think about it, the energy will repattern to the old way. Well, you don't want to waste it. Use the energy on something that will move you forward. And yeah, sometimes we need people to kick us in the ass and really think, what do I want? What do I want? What do you want? And assess your life right now. In your life right now, you have relationship, you have career, you have your health, you have your work or your vocation, your purpose, something that you want to bring forward. You have your community and you have your home. You have everything. Now assess. If I have to ask you, rate your life right now, 0 to 10, in the area of your health, how do you rate it? In the area of your career, how do you rate it? In the area of your money, how do you rate it? In the area of your partner, soulmate relationship, in everything, in all area of your life, in community, in the way that you want to volunteer, you want to contribute, how do you rate them? 0 to 10. If it's a 5, then ask yourself a better question. What can I do to move it to 6? If it's a 2, ask yourself, what can I do to move it to 4? Ask yourself a better question. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of the question you ask. 7 years ago, my mentor always tell me that I have no clue. I don't really understand the true meaning behind whatever he say. But nowadays, I got it. It's really the quality of your life. It really depends on the quality of the question you ask. A lot of people look at the bills. It's like, oh my God, I have to pay the bill. How am I going to do it? I have no money. But then, empowered person was like, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do to make extra 10,000 a month? What can I do to make extra 5,000 a month? What can I do to able to go to vacation and still get paid for it? Ask a better question. When you ask the better questions, your subconscious mind will go into Google and find the answer for you, or Chat GPT. They do. When you start to utilize it, they start working. Your subconscious mind is like an old car because you haven't used it for a long time. So it's rusted. But now start cranking it up and then it will work. And at the end, you know what? You and me are all energy. We are all energy. That's what Qigong say. We are all energy. We are vibrating at a different frequency. There is a different frequency. Whatever you want right now is not on the same frequency as you are. So if you want to get to where you want, you have to match that frequency. And how do you match it? Number 1, act as if you're already that person. Second, really grow. As a human, you either grow or you die. I always tell my dad that if you keep doing nothing every day, you keep doing nothing every day and not contribute, the universe one day is going to say, look, all you do is eat and poop. And you're not contributing. You're not even cooking or even cleaning or even take care of your grandkids. The universe is going to say that you are just like a caterpillar. Just know how to take and take and take. So it's time for you to decay, right? So we either grow or we die. That's why you see a lot of these like successful people, even though they are so rich, they're in their 90s, they will never retire because they understand the principle. If a human is either I grow or I die. If you don't want to die, you better start growing. You better start learning. You better start doing something and contribute to the society. Anyway, so that is what I want to say. And I'll pass it to Hannah. You're mute, Hannah. You're still mute.
I'm unmute right now, right? I think. Oh, good. Okay, great. Okay. So, kindle the flame and cross the bridge. This is an EFT session script for change makers, or forgivers, and people who are hyperfunctional. So, you're already halfway across the bridge. You didn't notice the moment solid ground became suspended planks. One moment you were walking without thinking, and the next, wood groaned beneath you. The air turned thin, and a gray wall of fog rose around you like a breath on winter glass. The bridge feels ancient, not unsafe, but uncertain, weathered by storms you never witnessed. You can't see the other side. You can't even see the beginning anymore. Just the next few planks, and even those are partly swallowed in the mist. Below, you can hear the water moving, not a gentle stream, but something with depth and pull. The kind of current that carves canyons and moves mountains grain by grain. Above, the fog swallows the sky, but somewhere beyond it, you sense dawn waiting. And in your hand, there's a lantern. You don't remember picking it up, but you know deep in your marrow that lighting it could change everything or reveal everything you've been avoiding. Fear lives here, not in the danger itself, but in the suspension, the not knowing, the almost, the nearly, the about to, the space between what was and what could be. This is where every change maker finds themselves. This is where courage is forged. People say fear is like darkness, but darkness by itself isn't frightening. It's neutral, like the canvas before the first brushstroke. The real fear comes when you hold the lantern and decide whether to kindle its flame. Because when you light it, shadow shifts and dance like living things. You might see safety, the rope holding strong, the planks more solid than they seem. You might see the gap in the plank ahead, the place where one wrong step changes everything. You might see something you can't unsee, the truth that demands action, change that cannot be undone. Fear is not the absence of light. Fear is the pause before you strike the flint. Fear is knowing that once you illuminate what's hidden, you become responsible for what you see. The lantern rests heavy in your palm, not from the weight, but from the burden of possibility. Through the fog, there's someone else here. She's standing at the railing, hands steady on weathered wood, eyes forward like a lighthouse keeper reading the patterns of storm and calm. Half Maya Angelou, the rhythm of her words could steady a nation, each syllable a beacon cutting through the darkness of despair. Half the quiet rebel, the one underestimated. So often she's learned to move like mist, to listen before speaking, to gather strength in silence, until the day she chose to burn bright. Maya's voice cuts through the fog like a ship's horn calling wanderers home. You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. The quiet rebel listens and then reaches into her coat and pulls out her own lantern. Not just one, a whole collection of them, each glass chimney etched with different prayers. She doesn't light it yet. She looks at you, not to ask if you're ready, but to remind you that readiness is a choice, not a feeling. Every revolution, she says quietly, her voice carrying the weight of a whispered conversation that changed the world, begins with someone who was told to stay in the dark and decided to kindle their flame anyway. You can if you could, place your hands on your ribs, just under the breastbone where your breath lives like a steady flame. Breathe in, not shallow chest breathing, but deep into the bellows that feeds your inner fire. Feel your ribs expand like the glass walls of a lantern preparing to hold the light. Feel the rise and feel the fall. Now exhale, slow and steady, as if you're breathing life into a dying ember, coaxing warmth back into being. Ask yourself, where does fear live in my body right now? Don't fix it. Don't run from it. Don't judge it. Just name it with the tenderness you'd show a frightened child holding their first lantern. Hello, fear. I see you. You've been trying to keep me safe in the darkness. Thank you for that. But I'm ready to kindle my flame. And as you stand there, heart beating steady as a drum and calling people to gather, hear Rumi's words echoing across the centuries. Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray. When I hear this, I think of C and how much she loves Qigong. Anyway, let me continue. We're going to use the science-backed tool called EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique. It calms your nervous system like still water, clears the fog from your mind, and helps rewire fear into courage and movement. Think of it as tuning forks for the soul, using gentle pressure to harmonize your inner landscape. We'll tap on 8 specific points while speaking truth. For the eyebrow, where thoughts are born, the side of the eye is the peripheral vision, seeing what others might miss. For under the eye, the tears we've shed and those we refuse to shed. Under the nose, breath, life force, and the words we're ready to speak. Chin is for determination, the jaw set with resolve. The collarbone is the heart shield, protection and vulnerability dancing. Under the arm, it's support, the strength that we carry unseen. And the top of your head, it's the connection to something greater than ourselves. You can repeat after me, and you don't have to get it perfect. Just stay with your feelings. Let the words sink into your bones like the warmth from a kindled flame. We'll do the karate chop, which is the side of your palm here. Even though I'm halfway across this bridge, even though the fog hides the way forward and back, even though the fear makes my lantern tremble in my hands, I choose to notice it without judgment. I choose to stand here anyway. I accept myself and this moment completely. The eyebrow point, the fog pressing close like gray wool blanket. The side of the eye, the planks creaking under me, each step a question. Under the eye, fear flickering in my chest like a candle in the wind. Under the nose, later has become now, and now asks for my answer. Chin. It's in the small things we see, and Sexton whispered. Collarbone. The first time I had to stand alone and found my voice. Under the arm, the first step into the unknown when safe felt like a prison. Top of your head, fear, you're here. I'm here too. We can walk together. The eyebrow. I can feel my heartbeat in my fingertips like Morse code. Side of the eye. My breath catching like a door between worlds. Under the eye. I name you, fear, and I give you shape and honor your purpose. Under the nose. You're not my enemy. You're my guardian angel in disguise. Chin. Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull. Collarbone of what I really love and what calls my soul awake. That's a line from Rumi. Under the arm. Fear is not the end of the story. Top of your head. Fear is the invitation to become whom I'm meant to be. The quiet rebel opens her lantern glass door. This time, without hesitation, she strikes the flint against the steel. For a heartbeat, the bridge is bathed in a golden warmth. You see the grain of wood, worn smooth by countless pilgrims. The rope holding the rail, frayed but faithful, tested but true. Your own hands gripping the lantern, no longer trembling. The light spreads in a perfect circle, revealing not the whole path, that's still shrouded, but enough ground for the next step, and the next. Maya Angelou's voice rises through the golden glow. Courage is the most important of all virtues because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. The flame dances but does not die. It waits, patient as a prayer for your choice. The quiet rebel meets your eyes, her own lantern casting long shadows that look like wings and says, light it yourself, feel the warmth and bloom in your hands. If you could, I'd like you to imagine you're holding a lantern right now. Feel its weight, solid and reassuring. Now, in your mind's eye, open the little glass door. Hear that soft click and strike the flint and watch the wick catch fire. What do you see in your circle of light? We'll do the karate chop again for the second round of tapping, and this round is about your courage. Even though the fog is still here, even though I can't see the whole path, I choose to take the next step. I choose to let courage light the way. Eyebrow point. You may write me down in history. Maya's voice is like thunder. With your bitter, twisted lies, side of the eye, with your bitter, twisted lies, you may thread me in the very dirt. Under the eye, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Like flame, like dawn, like hope. Under the nose, courage is not the absence of fear. Chin, it's walking while my knees shake like autumn leaves. Collarbone, it's speaking when my voice trembles with truth. Under the arm, it's standing for justice when comfort calls me back. Top of your head, courage is the flame I choose to kindle. Eyebrow. I'm not a bystander in this moment of history. side of the eye, I'm the master of my faith and the keeper of my flame. Under the eye, I'm the captain of my soul. This is also from another poem, Henley's drumbeat, steady in my chest, keeping time. Under the nose, the quiet rebel steps beside me, lantern blazing. Chin, Maya's hands rest on my shoulder like a benediction. Collarbone, stand, speak, and rise. Under the arm, the three-part prayer of the brave. Top of your head, no more fear ruling my choices, only courage showing the way. The quiet rebel doesn't walk ahead. She walks beside you. Each lantern she carries creates an overlapping circle of safety, light bleeding into light. As you move, you notice others on the bridge. An elder holding the hand of a teenager, their shared lantern swinging gently between them. A young activist with a banner rolled tight on their back, their lantern's flame reflecting the brass grommets. A parent carrying a toddler, their lantern held high like a lighthouse guiding ships to harbor. You realize you were never the only one here. You just couldn't see them until you kindled your own flame. The fog doesn't disappear, but it becomes less menacing. What seemed like a wall becomes a veil, and behind the veil, you glimpse the truth. Bridges are meant to be crossed together. Here's the truth they don't want you to see. The fog isn't all weather. Some of it is smoke, manufactured by those who profit from your confusion, your paralysis, and your silence in the dark. When leaders silence truth tellers because facts threatens their narratives, when rights are stripped away while the world looks elsewhere, when democracy itself hangs in the balance and silence becomes complicity, we cannot wait for the wind to clear the view. We must be the ones to kindle the flame. We must be the ones to burn away the lies with the steady light of truth. And yes, that means risk. But history has never been illuminated by those who kept their lanterns dark. Kindle the flame and cross the bridge. If not you, then who will speak? If not now, then when? And if not here, then where will you take your stand? This is the moment they count on you missing, the moment they hope you'll snuff your flame. Choose darkness over difficulty, silence over truth. Don't. The world needs what you carry, your voice, your vision, your particular way of seeing what others have missed in the shadows. Your lantern might seem small, but remember, even the greatest lighthouses started with a single flame. Imagine placing your lit lantern into someone else's hands. See their face brightened in glow. Feel the transfer of courage, of multiplication of light. And in the last one, the tapping round for 3 is about action. The karate chop. Even though the work ahead is fast, even though I feel small in the face of it, I choose to be of use. I choose to take action now. Eyebrow point. The people I love the best jump into work head first. Side of the eye, not for the glory or the recognition, but because it matters. Under the eye, I want to be one of them, hands dirty with purpose. Under the nose, rooted in the soil of change, growing justice like wildflowers. Chin, to sin by silence when we should protest. Collarbone, makes cowards out of men. But I'm not a coward. Under the arm, I choose action over comfort, light over convenience. Top of the head, I choose to matter in this moment. Eyebrow point, my hands are ready to hold the lantern high. Side of the eye, my voice is ready to speak what needs saying. Under the eye, my body is ready to show up again and again. Under the nose, truth needs lighthouse keepers, and I am one. Chin, I choose to be useful in the great illumination of the world. Collarbone, I choose to stay awake when others sleep. Under the arm, I choose to be the light I want to see. Top of your head, no more fear, no more waiting, only forward motion. Now hear me. This bridge was never just for you. Your step becomes someone else's courage. Your flame becomes their first light. Movements don't begin in marble halls. They begin here. One lantern lifted in the dark. One truth spoken when silence feels safer. One hand steady enough for another to cross. Right now, you are that one. Stand, speak, and rise. Kindle the flame and cross the bridge. Not tomorrow, not when it's easy, now. Because history isn't written in ink first. It's sung in the voice that shakes until the shaking turns into an anthem. And an anthem, once begun, refuses to be unsung. It carries over the planks like a tide rising beneath your feet, echoing through the lantern lit fog, calling others out of the shadows. You feel it in your chest. The way sound can move bone, the way courage can move history. And then, from somewhere ahead, another voice joins yours, and then another, and another. The anthem is no longer yours alone. It's ours now, and the bridge begins to glow. The anthem rolls forward like a living tide, each voice a lantern flaring brighter in the fog. The quiet rebel is quiet no more. Her voice threads through yours, low and steady, the hum of someone who has crossed many bridges. She walks beside you now, and with each step, another figure emerges from the mist. An elder with a hand on a teenager's shoulder, their voices rising in harmony. A young activist, the banner unfurled, singing in the wind with the defiance of dawn. A parent with a child on their hip, their lanterns high like a lighthouse beam. The bridge is alive now, planks humming beneath your feet, ropes swaying with the rhythm of hundreds of footsteps, keeping in time with song. Lanterns sway like constellations in motion, each one lighting the next, a chain of courage strung across the night. Maya Angelou's words rise above the chorus, a truth carried on the wind. When great trees fall, rocks on distant hills shudder. But small creatures may also try to move and finally understand that courage is the foundation that holds up the sky. The anthem swells and the bridge glows, and you know you are never alone here. You will never be. The song still echoes in your ribs, a rhythm you can walk by. The bridge is no longer just woods and rope. It's a living artery of light, lanterns swaying like stars strung close enough to touch. You're still on the bridge. The fog is still here, and maybe it will never vanish entirely. But now, the mist feels less like a wall and more like a breath of something fast and alive. It humbles you. It reminds you to keep reaching for the next hand, the next voice, and the next flame. Your lantern is not alone anymore. You've passed its light to others and received theirs in return. Now there are dozens, hundreds, filling the space between fear and freedom with a warm, impossible glow. You can see 10 planks ahead, maybe more. The bridge sways, not with uncertainty now, but with the honest movement of something alive, something that has carried countless others forward. Each time you kindle a lantern, the dark recedes just enough for someone else to take a step. Each flame you nurture nurtures another. The bridge has become a constellation of courage, each light held by someone who chose to matter more than they chose to stay comfortable. And you are the light in this galaxy of brave souls. Together, you're unstoppable. Consider just lighting one lantern today, meaning write a letter that you've been avoiding. Make the call your conscience demands. Sign a petition, join a march, speak the truth aloud. I guess in my case, it means stop watching so much Netflix, but that's neither here nor there.